I'm homeless. I'm also holeless, but that's a completely other problem. And I don't want to get in on that. I don't want to talk about that today. It would make me cry. I don't care about being homeless, but that would make me cry, good sir. I would lose. I don't care that I'm homeless. People give me shit about it. Like I don't got a job. I can't get a job. It's hard to get a job. It's hard to survive these days. I live in a van down by the creek bed, but like I don't really care. I have a lot of free time and shit. I can't really complain. It's the lack of women. That's the problem. That's the real problem. If I had a sugar mommy, then I wouldn't be homeless anymore. Women are always the answer. And if it's not a woman, it's alcohol. And if it's not alcohol, it's cigarettes. And that question is, what's the most addictive thing you have in your life? That's the answer. That and twinks. Nah, just men in general. My manager wants to do rainbow capitalism. He wants me to, I don't fucking know. So I'm a musician. That's another thing. That might have been my first problem. That might have been my first problem. That or the mural on the side of the van. I'm just kidding. There's not one of those. I don't really know what dude, maybe I should write a script. That would really fucking help. Or is off rip, off kill to just me saying bullshit at the camera the way to go. I don't really know. I usually when I do things like this, I try to improv some comedy into them, but I don't really know. The thing is, I have no idea what my manager wants to do with my image. He just said, be homeless, be holeless, and you got it. I have no fucking clue what that mean, gang. The fuck you mean? Be myself? Be myself. He just told me, be yourself. God damn. You know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna bitch for 8 minutes straight, because that's what I like to do. Let's talk about my life. Let's talk about the other day. So I was reading through this book called Native Son, right? I was reading through this book called Native Son, and I was trying to finish it before the end of May, because I'm trying to read a specific amount of books in a specific amount of time. And it was a pretty good read, I'm not gonna lie. It was a very brutal read, but it was a very nice read. I recommend it if you have the stomach for it. It was a good book. I enjoyed it, but I was trying to finish it, and I was only on like page 310. So I decided, you know what, today I'm going to finish this book. I'm going to finish this book. It has like 390 some pages. I'm going to read the other 80 pages of this book. So what I did, right, is I just grabbed the book. Well, first, I'm living in a van. So I had to duck a few people who were outside my van. So I woke up, got clothes without them seeing me, grabbed the fucking book, ducked out without them seeing me, ran out, and I went to my friend's house, and I was going to read there. Well, my friend wasn't home, so first I robbed him. And then after I robbed his ass, he knows I robbed him now, I already told him. He didn't give a fuck. Basically, after I robbed his ass, I went to this abandoned building I found that had there was no trespassing signs. So I trespassed that bitch. It was an old abandoned building that was so withered, the walls had caved in around it, and the floors were you could barely stand on the wall, like the floor, and you could barely stand on the walls anymore. Spider-Man was furious! No, you could barely stand on that floor anymore without it caving in. So I had to walk on specific points and then sit down at a specific point. And there was this old withered mattress there. I didn't really lean on the mattress, but I did kind of partially shift my weight closer to the mattress since I knew that was a stable part of the ground. And I read there for a bit until I noticed that I was absolutely teamed with these white-eyed ticks, which is I don't know the proper name for them, but they're these really bright red ticks with white dots on them. And I'm fairly certain those are the ones that give you Lyme disease. So I swiped them all off of me before they bit me and got out of that abandoned-ass building. Then I went through the woods, right? And I was enjoying myself, and I was reading this book before I realized I had disturbed an entire colony of fire ants, right? And then I had to get out of there, and I was walking around reading for a bit, and I finally found this nice spot off the side of the road until I got swarmed by these tiger mosquitoes. The ones that are called tiger mosquitoes, but they're white and black like a zebra, so I don't know why they're not called zebra mosquitoes. And I'm fairly certain those are the ones that give you, like, the bad disease that mosquitoes can give you. I don't remember that one. Lamaria, I think, something like that. It rhymes with hysteria. I remember that because I used to freestyle it like 2 or 3 times a week because I used to freestyle so much I had to fucking reuse rhymes sometimes because my mind hadn't really developed like complex rhyme schemes yet. It was like when I first started rapping. Anyway, I was doing that. You know, I had to. Oh yeah, yeah. The mosquitoes swarmed me, so I held my breath because everybody knows the mosquitoes. How mosquitoes they go off carbon dioxide. Once you exhale, mosquitoes attack you. Everybody learns that when they're a kid, right? So I held my breath, went through the swarm. I didn't get any on me. I didn't get bit by any. And, you know, I had to find a new place to read. And, you know, I accidentally disturbed the wasp's nest. And then I found a really nice beetle. It was a really cool beetle. And I found this nice flower and picked it, but it had so many thorns. I cut the hell out of my hand. Oh, and then I stabbed myself with a rusty nail. But then after that, you know, I kind of was walking down the road and just kicking a can along. I'm kidding. I was just reading. I was just enjoying myself. And what happened next? There was the wasps. What attacked me? Something attacked me after the wasps, too. The wasps were not the end of it. Let's see. There was one other. The fire ant. Okay. The ticks, the fire ants, the mosquitoes, the beetle. And then next was something else. Oh, yeah, the brown recluse. The brown recluse that almost bit me, yeah. I had a brown recluse on me for a while. Honestly, I just let it sit there while I read. Because brown recluses don't bite you unless you attack them, usually. I don't think it bit me. It was on, like, I got to my pants leg, and then I swiped it off, and then I got out of there. And then I made sure it didn't, like, fall down my shoe or anything. Then I just kind of walked back the other way, and then somebody called out to me. I was taking a break from reading and playing with a yo-yo, as one does. And they asked if I had seen their dog. So, you know, I was like, no. And then they said he went into the woods, so I went up this trail. There's this trail up to a graveyard that cuts through those woods. So I decided to go up that trail to find their dog. And I ended up finding their dog, and I tried to, like, get it to follow me down, but I couldn't gain its trust because I didn't know it, and I didn't have food. And low-key, I think I want dogs to like me too much, and I scare them away sometimes. But also, sometimes dogs just really fuck with me, so I don't really know. Sometimes dogs really like me, and sometimes they're scared of me, and I don't know. I think some dogs are just, all dogs are different, really. But this dog was scared of me, so instead of getting it to follow me down, I had to hurt it down by chasing it. And I felt bad, because low-key, I know this dog's scared as fuck, but I gotta do something. So I eventually get it down there, and then I go talk to him, and they're like, yeah, the dog just came out of the woods, we caught it. I was like, yes. Okay, because right before I knew it got to the property, I lost it. So I had just hurt it enough. So then I walked on down the road again, and I stopped by my friend's house again. He still wasn't home. And we're about out of time, by the way. We only got 3 minutes till my phone runs out of storage. So I'm going to try to speed this up. So basically, I went back to reading the book, finished it, cried. Then after that, you know, I went back down the road with a different book, a poetry book, and read that one. And, you know, this kid stopped me and started asking me to watch him dance. And, you know, normally I'd ignore a random child asking me to watch him dance, but he asked me like 3 times. Like, I walked down the road this way. Hey, guy, you want to see my dance? I walked this way. Hey, guy, you want to see my dance? Low-key, at first I didn't even know if he was talking to me. And then he did it again when I walked by. I was like, is he talking to me? I walked by again. I hear, hey, guy, you want to see my dance? And then I'm like, he's definitely talking to me. But I ignored him again. The next time I walked by, I wasn't even reading, so I had no excuse. I had to look, and I was like, yeah, sure. Show me your dance, kid. And he just flails around like a madman. An absolute madman, lunatic. And I'm like, kid, you're going places. Go to America's Got Talent. I start messing with him, baby, and like, yeah, I couldn't do that when I was your age. I can't dance now. I'm too white for it, personally. I just don't got no rhythm, says the musician. I start messing with him a bit, but then I'm like, yeah, you know, I gotta get out of here. I got things to do. So I get back to the van, and it's getting too dark to read, and my phone's dead because I haven't had a real opportunity to charge it. So I'm just kind of, you know, bullshitting around, and then my friend pulls up with this new girl, and we smoked marijuana in a van down by the creek. And then there was really nothing to do. I tried to read a comic by laptop light. That went horribly. And my van's battery's a little right now. I need to work on that. It's a good battery. It's just I can't get the connector on right. The connection isn't, you know? And, yeah, I'm out of storage. I was going to tell you what I did today. But I can't. So, this story ends with me passing out high in a van down by the creek. I didn't even get to explain why I'm homeless. I didn't even get to promote my music, really. So, Yeah. How are you supposed to sign these videos off? Live long and rock on. I don't fucking know. Have a nice day, guys.